You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 45. I'm Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Spencer Valadez.
All right, so first things first, we want to give a shout out to Super Podcasto Magnifico for plugging us on their recent episode. If you're not a listener of their show, go and check them out. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, magnificool. Yes. So it's a Wednesday Warrior edition.
It is a
and so we've got a few new comics to talk about today.
We have 3, in fact.
Yeah, just 3. It's okay. So the first is a new project, creator-owned thing at Image, Satellite Sam by Matt Fraction and Howard Chaykin.
Yeah.
Of course, Matt Fraction, as you know, is one of the hot thing writers in comics today.
I totally got to meet him.
Wow, I just rubbed that in my face. Right now he writes over at Marvel. He's writing the very highly acclaimed Hawkeye, and he's writing Fantastic Four and FF.
Man.
I'm sure there's something else that I'm forgetting, but not only prolific, but very good. And he's doing this with the great Howard Chaykin, of Black Hawk and American Flag and Black Kiss fame. So, a very cool combination, and it's neat. It's a Satellite Sam is it's a period piece. It's set in 1951, and it's very film noir. It's got this detective element going on. It's very cool, murder mystery, set in television. Around the goings on of this television studio and television.
Live show.
Yeah. Back in the days when a lot of television was done live. I dug this. I can enjoy a good mystery. Although I find when I read Batman stuff, I don't want him to a mystery. I don't want him detective stuff. I just want him to fight supervillains. I was thinking about that this morning.
Yeah.
But for something like this, very cool, crisp, black and white. It reads like you're watching a black and white movie. And I just thought it was real neat.
Yeah.
So
the art and the text bubbles, they confused me a little bit, but then with the context, I figured it out. I couldn't always tell who was talking.
I think that's just needing to get used to Chaykin's style.
Yeah. With context, it worked out just fine. That's in a couple dark themes, but I mean, all around good stuff.
Yeah, definitely not an all ages book. There's some very coarse material and adult themes, but it's very good. What I love about what companies like Image and Dark Horse is you're getting these creator-owned properties where you do things that you would not get to see happen at Marvel and DC. Neither of them would touch this.
Yeah.
I mean, DC might at Vertigo, but this is even pretty intense for that.
I mean, they have a reputation to uphold of,
a level of wholesomeness, usually.
Yeah.
And this is cool. And I love how Image in the past few years have really reinvented themselves. In the 90s, Image comics were basically like the stamp of, well, it's gonna be crap. Just really terrible comics. But now they're really, Image is like a second Dark Horse, just doing like all these great, like, who knows what they're gonna come out with. It's just anything goes, and really wild, very inventive, excellent, highly creative stuff.
It's cool that these companies that have crap in the past have decided, let's work that out.
Yeah.
Get rid of the crap, burn away the chaff.
Well, it's surprising that Image survived the 90s.
Right.
I mean, Dark Horse was always good, and they were always doing off-bait things. They'd just gotten bigger. Image is, weathered a storm, and it's like, we got to do something different or we're going to die.
Right.
And they did, and good, yay! Because they're actually put out comics I would like to read now. So, but pick up Satellite Sam. Excellent read.
Yeah.
I fully endorse this book.
Cool. Stamp of approval.
From old Nicholas Prom. Right. So, I also picked up this morning Legends of the Dark Knight, number 10. Now, I love this. I'm trying to... let me just back up. I enjoy this series because I love being able to pick up a comic and it's a one-and-done story.
Yeah.
and this is a great anthology series of Batman, and every issue will have 1 to 3 standalone stories. This one had just one, and a new creative team every time.
Yeah.
So that can be hit and miss, but I thought this story was right on the money. This is cool.
This is unique to DC right now because they have such major crossovers going. Any kind of book has a tie-in to the Trinity War or something else that you might need to be reading to be caught up. I really dig what they're doing with Legends of the Dark Knight.
I'll say fairly unique because I mean, there's The Adventures of Superman, which is the sister title to this,
right?
And there are a few other things that are not tied into the main DCU,
right.
And I'm kind of more into those.
Yeah.
Aquaman and the Flash are ones that I'm like very cool on because you're not gonna need to be buying other books to dig what's going on with those. It's a shame because I'm really interested in Justice League stuff, but I'm not interested in crossovers.
Right.
So, oh well.
It's a money thing. It's a time thing. It's just the whole crossover is just a little frustrating. Right?
Well, yeah, for the heavy continuity books, I feel like those are wait for the trade anymore.
Yeah.
But back to this Batman. Legends of the Dark Knight. Really cool story. There's Batman's coming up against a serial killer in Gotham. And there's a twist to this. This guy's a cannibal.
Yeah.
But he absorbs the memories and abilities of all the people he murders.
Right.
Which is a whole new twist, very unique kind of attribute to give to a Bat villain. Whether or not we'll see Abattoir again will remain to be seen, but I think it's a really clever idea. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, because, I mean, I liked it one bite of Batman or Bruce Wayne, one bite of him, and he's, absorbed this power.
Well, he could have learned his secret identity from tasting his blood.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, so it's really interesting, but the guy, I just thought it was a neat idea.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So, right on.
Yeah. Definitely have our stamp of approval for that one. Our next book.
And our last book of the episode.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Dark Knights #2.
Yeah.
Written and illustrated by the great Lee Weeks, who, as I've mentioned before, had a classic run on Daredevil in the 80s. This is great stuff. It's continuing this story. It's the middle of a huge blizzard, and a little girl is waiting for a heart transplant. And the helicopter that's bringing her heart to the hospital has crashed. And Daredevil is in the middle of a storm trying to find this copter to get the girl's heart and save this young life.
Yeah.
And his radar sense is going off, and he's hearing other people in trouble, and he has to ignore them. Yeah. And you realize that Matt has to swallow it and just and push through the hard moment to do this. And it's struggle.
Yeah.
It's what makes Daredevil such a compelling character.
I read the first book this last week in this series, and I got a little worried afterwards because that book was so good. Well, I was thinking, how can they go up from here? And this book did it. It was awesome. The struggle that Matt's going through, the struggle that the father of the girl is going through, the struggle of the people in the hospital that are trying to keep him or keep Matt safe from exposure. Just cool book.
Yeah, and I will give one plot point that I think is very important. It's going to be important later. The father of the little girl who's waiting for the transplant. Okay, media, it's kind of getting around that there's this girl who's waiting for the heart transplant, even though there's the blizzard and people losing power and different things. But the father calls in a favor to the Kingpin.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is yet, but obviously Wilson Fisk is going to get involved in this.
Yeah.
This is going to be a Daredevil classic, to be sure. And it's only going to... I think it's about to hit the fan from here.
Right. So,
I really am loving this. I mean, anything with Daredevil is great, but this is wonderful.
Yeah.
So.
Really cool. I was... That build up to the phone call with the father was, I mean, who's he gonna call? What is he gonna do? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see just the silhouette, and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You know, you just pause because you're just like, he's gonna get stuck and it's gonna suck.
Yeah. Hey, you just rhymed there, Mr. T.
I did.
Yeah. Roadblock.
Yeah.
So I think that's about it for this week.
Yeah. I do want to make a quick shout out.
Oh.
It's our friend Sean's birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday, Sean Roof.
Yeah, Sean Roof, it is your birthday. I told you I would mention your name as many times as I could. Sean Roof, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Sean Roof. And we will talk to you soon.
Groovy.